Hi guys, welcome back to 30 Days to Your First Website Design, a Tuts Plus premium course. I'm Ian Yates, and today we're going to get practical by looking into conceptual sketching, otherwise known as wireframing or prototyping. As usual, we'll begin with a quick breakdown of what we're going to cover in this video. First off, we're going to ask ourselves what wireframing is, how we go about it, and why it's worthwhile. We'll then look at some tools which will help you along. And lastly, as ever, I'll set you a little assignment before we jump into the next video. Now, when I was at art college many moons ago, we used to do life drawing. Every week our life model, Graham, would drop his robe on the floor and contort himself for a good few hours. And one of the most useful techniques I can remember being taught was taking a big stick of charcoal and being told to sketch one drawing per minute for 10 minutes. To begin with, we felt rushed, of course, but the results were surprisingly effective. It made us really think about what the essentials of our drawings were without getting tangled up in the details, like Graham's face. We were sketching in its rawest form. Now, wireframing appears to all intents and purposes to be a web design equivalent of this, but there's one essential difference between sketching and wireframing. Sketching is part of the creative process. It's brainstorming and experimenting. Wireframing is more about visualizing the information architecture. It's about getting layout and functionality ideas down quickly, establishing relationships, the bare bones of your finished design. So what do we need to practice wireframing? Well, the tools are fairly complicated. You're going to need a piece of this and one of these. Yep, that's it. Of course, you can do your mocking up using all manner of available tools. There are templates for Photoshop, Illustrator, Fireworks, UI kits which can help you lay out website elements quickly and edit them just as quickly if you need to. And we're now going to take a look at a tool called Balsamiq. It's a Flash-based rapid wireframing application, and it comes in desktop or browser flavors. It demonstrates perfectly how we can quickly pull together a wireframe. It's not free, unfortunately, but you can easily make use of the demo version, as I'll show you now. Now, I've downloaded it and installed it to my system, so let's open it up. And there it is. Now, you can see we have a canvas here, plus a menu and a toolbar up at the top. The controls are fairly self-explanatory. The menus are intuitive, and if you're used to working with any graphic application at all, you'll have no trouble. Let's begin with our empty workspace. Now, we can use the toolbars to place various elements on our page, like this. It needn't be perfect. We're looking to demonstrate relationships between the elements on the page and get a rough idea of the layout. It's great for your own reference, it's great for communicating with colleagues how you envisage a layout, and it's perfect for demonstrating web projects to clients. Now let's quickly just mock up our corporate website. We'll begin with, let's see, a horizontal rule. Now we're going to work roughly here. The dimensions aren't really important. We're just going to mock up our layout. We can select these things. We can press shift and move them up and down with restricted movement. We also have, if we copy and paste one of them, you'll be able to see these guides popping up on the left and right. So they can be pretty useful as well. Now we're going to start here with, let's see, let's pop a logo in our top left corner. Just a quick one. There we go. That'll make it a little bit longer and a bit narrower. I want to line it more or less with the grid. Then to the right of our page, we should probably have some form of primary navigation. We'll pop that down there. We'll call that home, that's good. And then we'll have an about us page, perhaps our services, and a contact link. And this common delimited list here turns into a neat little navigation bar when we press enter there. Now you can see more guides popping up, so we can see that centralized with our logo there, and it aligns to the right with our horizontal rules. Now within our horizontal rules, we're going to pop in a great big title, a nice big snappy something or other that's going to show people exactly what's going on. Let's see. There we go. Nice little testimonial from a client there. Little on the large side. Double click that and edit it. Oh, that doesn't work. This is just a title. Okay, we'll just leave it at that. Okay, we'll come down to this little window down here. We'll make it central text. And we'll align it with the middle of our page as so. Now, we'll move our horizontal rule down a little bit, and we're going to add a button in there which is going to act as a call to action. It's going to encourage people to take some action and have a look further. There we go. That's our button. We'll align that centrally as well. Okay, that's looking good. Now down here we're going to have some more images. So we'll find our image element here. Pop that in. We'll call that thumb 1. Now we're going to work with a rough 3-column layout. So let's just copy that. We'll move another one to the far side here, and then we'll copy it again and move one to the middle of our page. Bang. There's a guide. Very good. Then underneath these, on the 3 columns, we can put some sort of subtitles. So let's have a look. Now if I want to refine the list of elements on this toolbar here, I can just hit one of these buttons which will filter what I'm after. So I'm going to hit text, which is just going to bring up all the text elements here. You see there are much fewer things to be choosing from. So I'll drag a subtitle down here, and actually subtitle is perfect, so I'll just leave it at that. Okay, and then I'm going to copy and paste that over there, and I'll paste another one over there. Then lastly, let's see, we'll find a paragraph. We'll whack that in there. I'm just going to bring up the browser here. I'm going to grab some dummy text from Libsyn.com. Don't need very much. Copy that, send that away again, and paste it in there. That's way too much, but it makes no difference. And you'll see our page is actually stretched to accommodate our larger element there. So we could continue down and make a really, really long page if we needed to. Okay, so we've got a couple of blocks of text in our columns there, thumbnails above them and a subtitle there. Now, the spacing is all over the shop. The alignment is roughly correct, and you've got a very good idea there of how our layout is going to be. You can see more or less the layout in terms of its spacing and the white space, and that's looking pretty good. Now what do we do with that? Well, we can either save it as it is and we can work on the project later, or we can get a file and we can export it as a PNG image. As you can see here from this little notification here, it should have saved to my desktop. So close this down, pop, and I'll just double click on that image there, and here it is opened up in Photoshop. So now we can use this as a basis for our layout later. It's very handy. Okay, that's enough about that. That was a quick demonstration of fleshing out your wireframe with Balsamiq. Very good. Now it's time for some further reading, so we'll jump back into our presentation. And I'd firstly like you to read, well, none of this is required reading. These are more resources that I'd like you to check out. They're for your own benefit. First up, we've got wireframes.lanowski.ca. This is a blog about everything wireframe. It's full of examples, resources, and tools and news. You'll be amazed at how much there is to say about wireframing. Secondly, take a look at webwithoutwords.com. It's a quirky online resource which demonstrates loads of familiar sites in wireframe form. It's a great way of stepping back and examining the skeletons of effective web design. I've got an example of one here for you. Bring back the browser. Recognize this one? Of course you do. Alright. Now lastly, if you're interested in seeing any website wireframed, check out the Wirify bookmark tool. Drag it into your bookmarks, click it whilst you're visiting any web page you choose, and you'll see that page wireframed. Now lastly, a little assignment. I want you to go away and sketch up a wireframe of our corporate site using what I did just a minute ago as a basis. It doesn't matter how you do it, whether you use a pen or paper, or if you opt for a tool of some kind. The important thing is to visualize the relationships between all the elements you've sketched out. Okay, that just about wraps up wireframing. Next time on 30 Days to Your First Website Design, we're going to look at using grids. I'm Ian Yates, and from all of us here at Tuts Plus, thank you for watching.